Well, welcome Ashtabula Dreamers. Thank you all for coming to our celebration of 20 years of after-school discovery and our kickoff for our transformation event. My name is Melissa Aiken, and I am the current president of the board of After-School Discovery. So I'm very excited to see all of you here, and it's my pleasure to introduce one of the founders of After School Discovery, Linda COBLITZ, and she's going to share with us a little bit of the history. So let's welcome Linda.
After School Discovery celebrates 20 years of service to Ashtabula school children, introducing them to new programs and educational experiences. But those involved aren't sitting on their laurels. They have conceived an ambitious expansion that once again involves other school districts in the county, incorporates other civic and youth-oriented organizations, and will become a model for the rest of the country. The program was unveiled during a gathering of friends, supporters, and alumni of After School Discovery on Thursday, February 12th at Hubbard House Museum in Ashtabula.
In 1994, we started meeting because we felt, there was 4 of us that felt enrichment opportunities should be offered to all the students in Ashtabula area city schools. So we started doing after-school clubs, and we offered them in every one of the 9 Ashtabula area city school elementary buildings, and did clubs for several years that way, and expanded to Buckeye schools and then Geneva schools. And eventually that kind of worked out. Parents couldn't pick their kids up after the programs, and then we started doing an after school 5 days a week at the Ashtabula area city school elementary buildings. We received a grant from the Ohio Department of Education, and we were able to promote that and service children in 3 different elementary schools. And that grew into doing a junior high program, and now we're doing before and after school care at Michigan Primary, and doing a junior high program, and doing a kindergarten program, and we're doing academic coaching for 1st through 6th grade. So we're doing a lot of different things. We're definitely growing. Our numbers are growing every year. There's a need. We're offering enrichment opportunities to the 4th through 6th graders. We're offering a lot of art and music choices that they don't have those opportunities during the school day. So it's promoting that and just opening windows so that they can see different offerings that are out there, and they can learn a new skill and grow from that. And we're working on right now writing 2 grants for applications for Ohio Department of Education for the next school year. So that's going to be our focus for the next few months, is writing those 2 grants. That'll be for the junior high school and also for the elementary campus. So there's a lot of things happening with After School Discovery, and we just keep growing every single year and supporting more and more students.
Yeah, we really are working towards getting back to our roots and trying to offer and support services for every student that needs it in the county. And to do that means changing the way we do our work. And so instead of necessarily being a sole service provider, we're really trying to draw the entire community, all the organizations that already offer similar programs. You might say they're our competition, but in this phase we have to work together. Because the idea is effectively to make sure that every student has the support they need in every aspect of their development to go from cradle to meaningful work in our county.
So what kind of other organizations are you going to be working with? Can you give me some examples?
Well, I think the biggest part of this is the After School Discovery's new role is being that coordinating entity that connects the business and the individuals, professionals in the community to school-age students. There's no real mechanism for that. It's not easy for schools and school administrators on short budgets to try to make that happen, but there is a vast supply of talent and insight and perspective and skill teaching that can come from the general community. So we're looking forward and reaching out to partners, of course, Growth Partnership, Leadership Ashtabula, Chambers of Commerce, our partner agencies in delivering programs, the Y, of course, the Art Center, but virtually anyone in the county, and that's kind of the image we're trying to promote, just like the times of the Underground Railroad. And we think it's that drastic of a period in our history where the same route, the same effort by a community that it took to enable people out of slavery to find freedom and the American dream, we think that that's the same situation that we're in with students who don't have the supports at home or in their support networks to do all it takes to be ready to pursue their version of the American dream.
Well, because there are many latchkey children that go home from school with the key on their neck, and they get home, and some of them do fine, but some of them don't. It's very important to try to nurture the child's life as they go along, and after-school programs are so important because you know what? It makes them feel wanted, and it makes them feel like they're a part of something. And I think that makes a better citizen because they're going to go on and then be a better community person.
Yeah, I think for a lot of this we can predict what students and families will need. What we're really trying to do is create a passport so it can be very self-directed or family supported and create mentorship opportunity where we know what that student's needs are. They're expressed in a passport. That they can even track their own progress. They know where they can find the resources and the opportunities and the learning that's expressed as a requirement in that passport. We really do want to have them direct their own learning, but make ourselves available to have lots of other different sources of learning than just the classroom. After school discovery, of course, it sounds cliche, but our focus is in that learning time that happens anytime school isn't in session. That's after school, before school, summer, holidays, and honestly, the other place that we want to focus is make sure that there is strong supports for the learning that happens as it's supported by parents and guardians in the house. And we've always tried to offer some form of summer learning option. Statistically, and across the country, summer learning loss is a huge challenge. Students lose 2 months of academic progress for every 3 months that they're out of school. And that's aggregate. So after 2 summers with no activities or no structured supports, they're 4 months behind. When we do the math, you get to why students are 2 or 3 years behind by the time they hit 9th grade pretty easily. And you can point to summer. So that's really a rallying point for us in this next phase. And I have to say, a part of this is being right out front as Ashtabula and being a national leader and saying we don't think there is a good model anywhere across the country in doing what we think needs to be done to guarantee students and young adults flourish after they graduate. We want to be the first. And we want to recruit investors from outside the region to help us make that transition. Long term, I don't think that this costs any more than the resources that are currently allocated to the work at hand. It just means making a transition to a different culture, a different way of doing the work. Well, right now we work very closely with the schools. We identify students who could use that extra help, and we have to make tough decisions because resources have been limited over our lifetime as an organization. But in the future, I think what we want it to look and feel like is that there's always options for students wherever they are. And that can be out in the community, it could be an after-school program on site, or another part that I think is coming into play that we want to take full advantage of is technology. We don't want to replace the parent, we don't want to replace the teacher, but most families, most students have some form of smart device or a phone, and we're going to be right there with an Ashtabula specific app where they'll have plenty of opportunities to make good choices on their phone about how they use it and help make progress towards their learning goals. And I just think that has to be a part of the equation for the future. We, again, I don't know if it's helpful, but we really chose the Hubbard House for a very specific reason, and we want to begin communicating this notion of everybody in the community having an important role to play, just like the era of the Underground Railroad and the pride that was associated with that time in Ashtabula's history of the community working together to do something very important that everyone knew was right. We're trying to promote that ethic again. I'm not going to suggest that our students are struggling with the same issues or the severity of slavery, but frankly, they need the same level of community connections and support and commitment that it took to build that Underground Railroad and help those people on to the freedom to pursue the American dream. So the second part of our program tonight, in addition to celebrating our anniversary, is about now being very public about that goal and inviting individuals and organizations to sign a pledge and be a part of this community movement that distinguishes Ashtabula on a national scale.